Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Lynn and I'm Pretty Papercrafts 67. Today I thought we might make some pockets. These are window facing pockets. So I haven't got any tag to sit in there at this stage. But yeah, just some little pockets with an acetate window that I've just collaged and decorated up. So I just wanted to make a little set. So I've made 3. And if you're like me, you have a stack of envelopes. So these are all made with envelopes. And so I just wanted to do a couple more to complete this set. And I thought we might do them together on camera. So in my envelope stash, I've got so many envelopes, all different sizes. But I found a lot of this size and they've all been stuck together. And I don't know why, I can't remember doing that, but I've obviously done it for a reason. But anyway, so I came across all these and I thought I wanted to use them. So that's what I'm going to use to make our pockets. Now, considering that they're closed, I need to open them to do the window. So all I'm going to do is I am just going to, this one is already opened at the top. So I'm just going to slice off just a hair just to open up that pocket. Just a tiny bit like that, just to open up the pocket. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that on both envelopes. Oh, okay, well, we'll take that one a little bit further, just like that. And then we'll do the same with this craft stock coloured one. And we'll just open only on 3 sides. You still want, I'll show you when I'm finished this one. So the long side and the two shorter sides we want to sort of open up. I'll put that away, get rid of some rubbish. Okay, so once we've done it, we've sort of left with like a little notebook or like a little card. So that's what I've got for my bases. I've got a piece of acetate, and then I've just using some just different printables and book pages and things like that, scrapbook paper, just to decorate the window pocket. But first of all, before I do any of that, I want to cut a shape. I want to cut my window shape out of these. So I'm just going to use a die for that because I just like sort of the distance around and the window shape on this side. So I'm just going to sort of level that up. I might use my grid mat just for lines. And I'm just going to kind of level that up. And I want to leave about, ½ an inch on the top. I think that's about, let's measure it. It's about an inch on either side, so to square it all up we might leave an inch at the top as well, but just roughly. So I'm just going to draw around there, around my top and down my sides, and then I just want to kind of leave that inch again at the bottom. So I'll just draw my line down to about there and down to about there. And then just go across like that. That's kind of sort of an inch, or a little bit higher. So I'll just measure that inch, and then we'll just go across like that. And I'll do that on both pockets. Oh, if I could just make that straight, that'd be good. All right, so that's number 1, and then we'll do the same with number 2. So we'll measure down an inch. Although this one's a little shorter because we had, that one's a lot shorter. All right, well, we won't use that for this one. We'll just make it up as we go. So we're going to measure down about an inch. And that one's an inch. And we'll measure in an inch from this side. And we'll measure that again down here a bit further, just making marks so that I can line up my ruler and get it all straight. That's an inch, and that's an inch, and then we'll come in from this side an inch. There's an inch, and there's an inch, and then we'll just line all those lines up. Now if you go over a little bit, it doesn't matter because we're going to be cutting that away anyway, or we're going to actually we'll be covering it up, so it doesn't matter if you're a little bit off because all of this will be covered over. I think I might have done that one a little wrong. Up to there, and then we'll cut across here. Alright, so that's our sections for our windows, and now what I want to do is cut those out. So I'm going to open it up just like that. I'm going to use a craft knife. That one is a little wonky, but does it really matter? And then I'm just going to carefully with my craft knife cut out these little sections. And how is everybody today? Well, I think here in Queensland winter has arrived. It's freezing, but it's beautiful. I love it. So it's just sort of come with a vengeance. So I hope everyone is warm, wherever you might be. So that's number one, and then we'll do the same with this one here. And we'll just carefully cut out this window section. I'm sorry if you can hear my squeaky table. And this bottom one. Like that. Alright, so that's our two window pockets done. And now I'm just going to use some, I've got just some different printable. I've got a book page. I have cut from these. I've just cut some fussy cuts to decorate our envelopes or pockets with when we've finished. So all I'm going to do, these are just scrap pieces of printable that I have been working with on different projects. So, and I think that they measure quite well. So I'm just going to bring in this and just cut this down a bit and see if I can use scraps of this page to decorate this first envelope. Just cutting that down, and then because we know that we've got an inch, I'm just going to cut, well first of all I might just measure that for height. Oh look at that, that's great. So we want inch wide, so I'm just going to put that on the inch measure and cut one, and I might be able to get a second one out of this piece. And if you didn't want to be so precise, that's okay too, because you can always just come back in and cut off the excess. I'm just going to cut another strip of this, and I might be clever. I'll cut that off there. And I might be clever and just cut an inch straight away. Just like that. Alright, so we'll see how far that takes us. Also, I want a piece to sit inside here so that once you've got your window you can kind of see that print behind, and that's pretty. Now that doesn't fit the full inside piece, but it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it off a bit. I'm just going to trim it there and trim it about there, and we'll probably have to trim it down again. And I'm just going to pop this kind of in the middle so that that's what you'll see. Okay, so I'll grab some glue. And pop this piece down. we'll stick this down sort of kind of in the middle. We'll just check it before we stick it down real firm. And that's great. Okay, so we'll just do that, and then I'll cut this section off down the bottom. Alright, and that we have that. And then I'm just going to basically piece around this section here, with the frame, just with yeah, this patterned paper. So I'll quickly do that. This is a really, really simple project, and I'm sure that, you know, it's a no-brainer. But I'm just doing a few different little projects at the moment, and I thought, well, why not revisit some of these ideas. So I've got that one there, and I think that one fits perfectly there for length, and maybe it's a little over, but we'll do that. And we'll put that one there. I think that's, yep, that's right way up. That one there, it's a little wonky, but that don't matter to me. And then I've got this piece here, and I'll just fill in the blanks with this piece, just that kind of thing. I'll cut it about there, and then hopefully that piece, we're a little short there. I'm going to swap those two over. We'll put that one at the bottom, and we'll put that one at the top. All right. And this little extra bit at the bottom that doesn't meet, we can always put a label or something over that, just to sort of camouflage that little space a bit. I'll show you what I mean when I've stuck this piece down. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of level that to the middle. And then you've got these two little extra bits here where the patterns don't meet, so we can always cover that up somehow. So that's our first little window, and I love the pansies. And then the second one I thought I would play with was, I have this book page, and it's azaleas. It's a book page. It's like an Edith Holden book, but it's written and decorated by a Brisbane lady. So that was sort of sitting there. So I've fussy cut that one out, and I just might use some of that. What am I going to put in behind? So I've just got some scrapbook paper here. This is a nice one. This is advertising. So we might be able to just use something like that, just to put a bit of text in there maybe. So I'm just going to cut that out like that, and just see where that gets us behind the window. Bring it over a little bit. Just something like that I think could look really cute. Just a bit of text. So again, I'm just gonna trim that down there. And we'll put glue on here. And also doing this helps to really stabilize those envelopes as well. They become quite sturdy. So they're lovely for an ephemera bundle, but you can place them down on a page inside a journal and know that it's going to be nice and sturdy in your journal. Alright, so we'll just put this one down here, around about there. We'll have to cut a bit off top and bottom, and then that looks nice there. And we'll just cut these edges off. Like that, and top. And then, what have I got? I could maybe, if I'm lucky, be able to use this piece to edge around it. So again, I'm just going to trim that down. even that could, oh, that could be nice too, that bit there. So I'm going to cut my inch mark. I know that's a little bit rough on the edge. So I'm just going to cut that as an inch strip. I'm going to go again. It's a great way too to use up lots of scrap. So I'm going to do two like that. And then I'll cut one of these. And we'll cut two just to see, because we ran short a little bit on that other one. Could be a completely different size envelope, so we'll see what we get. All right, so we got 4 strips for 4 surrounds, and then yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of go around like that, something like that, and something like that, and then we've got, well, that one might be better there because that's a directional piece, so we'll do that, and then we can do that, and we can do that, something like that. So we'll go ahead. I might actually put the glue on the envelope this time. And you do kind of want it close to that window's edge. And so we'll put that one down there. Like that. And we'll do the same with this one. Get glue close to the window's edge so that it doesn't lift up. Now that's a bit of a daggy edge, but that's, I'm not going to worry. So like that, and then we've got this one down here. So we'll just pop glue over the top of that, bringing it up to that window's edge. A bit more there and a bit more there. And I think we had that one up the top and this one down the bottom, or was it that one? Let's go this one, because that's the bottom edge of the plant or the flower. So we'll do that. So we'll bring that up a little closer to the edge. We might have to trim that down a bit. So that's there like that. And then we'll do the same with this top piece. Like so. Alright, and then we'll cut all these extra bits off. And then we have another one. Now, when I get to this stage, the next thing I want to do is put my acetate window in. But usually I would sew around that window first before I put the acetate in, only because my sewing machine isn't fond of the acetate. But today we won't. So I'm going to ink up in between that window before I put my acetate down. Like that, and I'll do the same with this one. Right. And then we are simply just going to, I've got a couple of bits of acetate here. That one's no good, but that one, so I reckon I could just cut that down a bit, like about that. Just eyeballing. And then I just want it to fit there like that. So that one fits. And this one should fit the same. That one's a little bit big. I'll just cut an edge off that and then pop that there. All right, and then we'll stick this down. Now when you're doing this step, you do want to take it up as close to that window opening as you can, but it's not really ideal to get the glue on your acetate. I always seem to, So I am going to leave a little bit of a space there, but you really want that acetate to kind of stick that window in place. Whoops. Alright, so we'll just pop that down like that and hope that it doesn't seep out onto our opening. So that's number one. And then we'll do the same here on this one. And we'll put acetate down on that one. Like about that. All right, and there's number two. So that's our two pockets or our two windows finished. Now, now let me think. Now it's decorating really. We'll ink up around the edges. Now again, if you wanted to sew, which I do want to sew, so I'm not actually going to close my pockets today in the video. So before you would close your pocket up, you would want to, if you wanted to sew, I like to sew around the face of the window, and then I just like to sew along this top edge. Then you can glue your pocket closed. If you didn't care for sewing, it wouldn't matter at all. You could glue your pocket straight closed now, but I just like that sewing look, so I'm just not going to glue it closed at this stage, because I want to do all that sewing. But we've got our inking done, and now it's just decorating. So as I said, I've fussy cut some, I've got pansies for that one, and I've got the beautiful big azalea here. So it will go over the window. We could just kind of even just pop it down there a little bit, like something like that. And then we've got these pansies that I've cut out, or violets. And I'm just going to kind of stagger those up the window, just something like that. So I want to ink, but I also, before I ink, I just want to make them look a little older. So I'm just going to crease them in places just to kind of, oh, I don't know, make them look like they have a bit of movement in them. So just in areas that you think, if you think of a flower where the folds would be in the petals and things like that, and it just sort of gives it some dimension a bit. And then I'm just going to ink that up. And then I sort of like it like that, I think. That still gives us that section there. We could cut those leaves off. I might do that because that one does kind of just hang out in the middle of nowhere. So we'll cut that one off like that. Put a bit more ink in there. And that just might give us, yeah, see, I like that better. It gives us a little bit more of the window. Even that's nice. Kind of, I'm always someone to put something on an angle. Alright, so we'll glue this one down in place. I'm not going to put glue absolutely everywhere because I still want it to have that little bit of lift, a little bit of dimension, and I'll just pop that down there, and then you can see you've still got that bit of dimension in your flowers, in your petals. Okay, so that's number one, and then we'll do the same here with the pansies, and I'll just sort of bend them in areas, crease up that paper a bit, soften it a bit. That sort of thing with a leaf. And then this little one. And then we'll add a bit of ink. and then we'll pop these down. So we're going to put the bigger one down first. And just kind of lay that down there. And then I want this one to come in kind of behind it. In about there. And then I just want that leaf to tuck in between the two of those. Like about there. And then that will all stick down on each other, and there's our second one. And then just to finish off, I've got some letters and, oh, not letters, I've got some number sequences and things. Pardon me. So I might just sort of, that's a nice colour combo, so I'm going to put that one in there. Oh, better give you a little bit of ink. So we'll just tuck that one under there, kind of sort of like that. You could do anything here. You could put sentiments, anything you wanted just to decorate them up. I tend to like these ones just a little bit simpler, and I really love that. I want that there. What else have I got? It's a bingo card. Oh, we've got these here. I just love that oval look, so I am going to use that one. And I'm just going to put that to the side. Now I could still go ahead. You could put some hand stamping on there to create more background. Definitely the sewing, so I will sew around my window pockets. I will sew along the top, and then I didn't sew them together as such, so I'll just show you these. So these have been sewn around the window pocket on that one. This one here I've sewn around the window and across the top, and I've done the same with the little one. Sewn around the window and across the top, and I really like that sewing look. So I will definitely be doing that. And then, like I said, just simply close them up on this side and this side. And there you have just a little pocket that, yeah, you can put in your journals. Now, one last thing, if you were actually sticking that down onto a page, you wouldn't need to worry about the back. But if you were just including them in an ephemera bundle, which I will be, then I have just papered the back as well. That was just a bit of collage. So that's very dependent upon where you're going to be using these items in your projects. But there you go, just a very, very simple and easy window pocket using envelopes. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been interesting. Have a great day, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.